rap culture is its own thing
Mic
as
drop.
well, right?
So in a way, who you are today, who you think that you are as an individual, and I get it. Each of us likes to think that we're unique, and the universe is out there beating for us,
Universe is
and,
our oyster. The world is our oyster.
and then we
We're the
are
pearls in the oyster.
the universe. We are like this custom cut form of the cloth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to break that bubble. We're just
Also,
part
whoever
of
gets
that.
the reference of universe is an oyster. Props to
Yeah,
you guys again.
I didn't. Okay. So
I'm not gonna
whoever
mention what
doesn't
it
get
is.
it, you're on my side. We
Whoever
are a
gets it.
culture. Whoever gets it is his culture. So yeah, I mean, who you are as an individual is probably a great indication of the kind of culture you subscribe to. And get this, even if you don't fit in with the culture that you were born into or you
Mhm.
see around you, you're still part of a culture which is called the counterculture.
Mhm.
So you might be that archetype of a person who I was till quite recently, and I felt that I still am, I guess, in a little way. If you feel you're a non-conformist, you're anti-establishment, you don't like the
Mhm.
way things are, and you always want to do them differently. I mean, if people drink beer, you want to drink wine. If people drink wine, you want to have Jaeger, like shit like that. Then you probably.
Basically, you're talking about being a hippie in life. Rather,
I don't
hippies
know
is
what that
rather.
word is. Hippie is like a different
No, it's not a hippie. Well, what was it? There was a
hipster, I guess, is what
hipster.
most people.
Hipster is a different
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, hipster.
So
Hippie
mainstream and
used to,
hipster were
yeah.
also just, ways of encompassing and defining two different, very different approaches, right? One
Mm-hmm.
approach is upfront that says, hey, you know what? Be my friend. Can I be your friend, please? Can I play with y'all? Because I don't want to die alone. The other ideology is like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. We all die alone. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick out
I
for
mean,
myself.
we are on a rock floating in space that's
Yet,
just orbiting a large
monkeys,
gaseous ball that is on
freaking
fire.
monkeys. Yeah, who can't even get out of their own houses. Monkeys who wants to go to Mars. So yeah, not happening, guys. पहले
Not
घर से
a-
निकलो तो पुलिस पटके मारेगी.
सीधा फटका
पटका
मतलब
सीधा
जोर का
उल्टा.
फटका.
Yeah, see, guys, we went into a little bit of our own culture trip for all of our
Yeah,
listeners in India because, yeah,
yeah.
we have cops really beating people when they come out of their house in this quarantine period. But that's a bad trip, so we're not going there. Yeah.
That's
Coming,
a bad. Well, literally, it is a bad trip,
it is a
man.
freaking bad trip. Don't take that trip, guys.
Yeah.
And to divert from there, I'm gonna do a Hail Mary and talk about something we promised never to talk about on the podcast. Actually, two things. We promised never to talk
Oh,
about politics and religion,
yeah.
but for the purpose of culture, I think it's
Culture, we gotta have like religion into.
yeah, gotta play
Yeah.
hard and fast with the rules that religion
Yes.
is a very big influencer.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
religion you were born into, I mean, like, let's face it, probably till the age of 10 or 15, because you were staying in your parents' house, you were legit forced to do
Yeah.
stuff the way they did it. And they did it because they were forced to do the stuff the way they did it. And without getting into too much of inception, that circle just goes on. And all of
I
that
mean,
goes
yeah,
back to,
it's
yeah,
definitely a big like circle that just like it's cultivated into something like a habit for everyone,
correct,
and like it's just as we were talking about in the beginning, right? Like
correct,
it's kind of like a muscle memory for us now that we do it.
exactly.
Or we join our hands or we pray
Yeah.
like in times of distress and all because it's just something that we are so used to by now that it just happens. We don't realize that we are doing it or
Correct.
not doing it,
Sort of
and
becomes second nature.
yeah, it's our second nature.
Don't
And
think
fair
about it.
enough, like more
Yeah.
power to you. Do it like if you're a really real hardcore believer in faith, and if it gives you solace, it gives you happiness. Nobody is going to stop you from that, right?
Yeah.
Do the thing that really makes you comfortable and happy in life, and whether it be like
Correct.
having that belief of like, okay, there's someone watching over you, there's a god,
But
like
it's
that's
also important to be objective. And from
yeah,
time
yeah,
to time, which sort of brings us to a little bit of a different direction, is
yeah,
that what I urge you, or I believe I speak for the both of us, that both of us urge you to sort of be objective and from time to time really look at your own life and your actions from a third person point of view
yeah.
and really
And
question the
don't
things
let
you
these
do.
texts define what your decisions are going to be
Yeah,
without, yeah, like you
text,
need
gifs,
to
memes,
kind of think of it.
don't let them define you. All you got to do
Yeah,
is is ask yourself, are you happy doing that? And not
Yeah.
kind of happy where you're like, hey, you know what? I don't have to think too much on it. That's not
Yeah.
the way it works. I mean, you really got to enjoy it. Like if you want to sit on the floor and eat your food with your hands, do it because you enjoy
Do
it.
yeah, do it because you want to do it rather than
Similarly,
like
yeah, if
something
you
is
want to sit
telling you
on a
to do.
table with a fork and knife and 16 other kind of forks and knives, be my guest. But it's important from time to time to really evaluate the things you're doing because get this. That's another reason for why we evolved as humans is because we try and we err. We
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of trial and error. Our strength is that we're constantly trying to do things differently,
Mm-hmm.
which is a large part of what evolving is all about. So keep in mind that if your culture is forcing you to just be stuck in your ways, if it's, I mean, again, stuck is a word of choice. I might use it, you might not. But if your culture really discourages you from experimentation, if your culture really discourages you from questioning it, if it really discourages you from understanding it,
Mm-hmm.
you might have a problem because you, as a human,
Yeah,
you want to
honestly, like I
evolve,
think
right?
you
You
require
you
you
want to
need to
become,
think, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you want to change for the good or the bad. That doesn't matter. But the
Mm-hmm.
important thing is we like to change as human beings.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us, I get it, really are comfortable with consistency. But after a point, I mean, look at this quarantine or quarantine, however you want to say it. At this point, a lot of you who are bored sitting at home probably started out thinking, "Yay, this is going to be so much fun. I get so much alone time." For a lot of people, this alone time is coming to bite them back in the ass. And
Yeah.
right, so that just shows us that as human beings, we really crave change. Good change, bad
Yeah.
change is a matter of debate, but yes, don't let your culture make you an antique. Don't
Yeah,
let.
basically like try to so again that's why we say being yourself and being your like that's why cultivating your own personality is very important because that is who you are and that is what you want to do
Hmm,
personally, right? Like
hmm,
it's not something that you're being coerced into or forced into. And we get like we know it's not possible for everyone to do whatever that they want to do, but like it's even we talk about even the small things. We're not talking about the biggest decisions in life because there are things that those are things that are kind of dictated by various other factors. It's just not what you want to do at the end of the day in that matter. But like the small like small things that make you you, right, is
yeah.
something you have control over.
This is the
And
okay.
you you you
Bad
you
joke alert. Bad observation. Okay. You just
in
go
between.
on.
Yeah. No, I mean if you want to put something into this, I'm just saying, like, you know what, these small things that like you can control in your own life is something maybe you should like have a thought about for your own sake, because you
Yeah.
know what, it plays a very big factor into uh are you happy living the way you are, or are you just living? Like,
Hmm.
there's a big
Yeah.
difference between being
Are you
comfortable or being
existing or are
happy.
you living?
Yeah, yeah. Like
You're not
what
just
is what is that happen?
wafting by day on day.